Hi everyone, good evening. This is my DV video part 2. Um, I wanted to um, discuss more thorough things about domestic violence and like the PTSD part, um, having nightmares, and going back and forth with your ex contacting and stalking you to get back together with them. Um, and just going back and forth with like for example some relationships, um the ex will enter into the victim's life to want keep getting them back together with them, and sometimes the person goes back multiple times, sometimes they don't. Like in my situation, I got lucky. I Because I'm so strong, I didn't fall for his trap, and I departed from the relationship. um, but I was still emotionally like distraught, so I didn't go back. I almost did a couple times, but I kept telling myself, "Okay, Mira, remember why you left him. Remember what he did." Like I had to keep thinking about everything, like in repetition, like why did I leave him? So it was really really hard for me, but I finally did it. So I want to discuss PTSD. So PTSD, I'm sure you all know that PTSD is called post traumatic stress disorder. So I was constantly having flashbacks of him yelling and putting his hands on me, flashbacks of the bullying, and I would wake up, not even joking, I would wake up, uh what do you call it, sweating. I'd wake up sweating, and I'd wake up with, like, I can imagine his face, like kind of like a mask. I would imagine his face coming at me and bullying me. So it was really intense for me. It was not that this experience was one of the hardest experiences I've ever endured. Like it was just hard. It was so hard. And I've never experienced anything like that, where I was constantly bullied and intimidated and all those things. Like I've never been through that before. So it was all new to me. Um so um we had contacted each other, like both of us had, like regarding like the divorce and whatnot. Um and there were a couple times where he tried to get back together with me, but then kept, exercising the manipulation. So, as I said, there was PTSD involved, nightmares, and what else? I just was constantly getting emotional. I I just want to put this out there that, especially in the Middle Eastern culture, as an Arab American, in my culture, there's no such thing as divorce. Like it's like not it does like doesn't exist. And the fact that I went through that, like I went through the marriage, I went through the wedding, paid for everything, went step by step, got married, did the whole like traditional wedding, Greek Orthodox wedding. And the fact that he was outside of my culture. He was technically white, well, technically like American Indian and English. So it was different. It was putting two different cultures together. One conservative Arab culture where, you know, there's no such thing as divorce, and the woman stays with the man forever. But like it was hard for me to, like, my mom kept telling me, "Oh, you have to take the bad with the good." The bad with the good, yeah, there's bad, there's good, but I'm not going to put up with this kind of, domestic violence. I'm not going to put up with this type of abuse. Like, that's not good. That's just flat out toxic, and it's unhealthy. And, just because you see your parents going through it, or you see someone else going through it, doesn't mean that it's a culture. Whether it's culture or not, I just think it's completely just ridiculous. Whether it's culture or not, doesn't matter what it is. You know, I just it was it, when I first initially separated, like did the legal separation, then the dissolution, my mom was like, oh, keep it a secret, nobody needs to know, this and that. And I'm like, Mom, like, why do you care what other people think? Like people are bound to, find out what happened, because I'm gonna be divorced, and ultimately I'm gonna move on, and then I'm gonna change my name to my maiden name, which is Nasser. It's like why should I care about what other people think? Why should I care about? Because at the end of the day, people are gonna judge you no matter what. They're gonna judge you. They're gonna be like, "Oh my God, she's divorced. Oh my God, this, and oh my God, that." And people are gonna judge you no matter what. You can't make everybody happy. You just have to make yourself happy, and that's what I did. I understand that in the Arab culture, there's no such thing as divorce. You marry and you pretty much put up with each other, and you know I just my my mom was upset with me, but when I didn't want to tell her like what I went through. I had to kind of lie to her, but my mom's no. She ultimately found out like what was going on, because I was venting to one of my sisters, and my sisters kind of told her. So she called me one day and she's like, "Are you okay? Because you don't sound like your normal self. Are you okay? Is everything okay? How are you and so and so doing?" And I'm like, "We're fine. Like I'm fine." And she's like, "Okay, well you don't sound fine. Like what's up?" Like she wouldn't let it go. And moms know. Like I don't know how she just, I guess moms just know. Like they raised you all their life, like they know you, like you're inside and out. So I it was definitely difficult. Um Plus my dad has dementia and he's really sick, and he has all sorts of issues, like mental issues, not mental issues, like health issues. He has a little bit of mental health issues, but more so, health issues. And the fact that he um, still has dementia, and it's hard because he doesn't remember that I'm divorced. And there's been times where he'll ask me, like, it's been 8 months now since I've been single, and he'll still ask me. And I'm like, Dad, I'm divorced. I'm single now. Like, I'm not married anymore. And people in my family, in my immediate and extended family, were like, what happened? And I didn't really want to tell everybody, because it was still a vulnerable time for me, and I was still going through my PTSD. I was still going through my anxiety, because he gave me anxiety. Like I had so much anxiety built in me. Like I was with somebody that I had to keep on being. It was like here's a good example. Like I felt like I was always on eggshells with him. Like no matter what I said, no matter what I did, I was always nervous. I always had anxiety. And um it wasn't healthy. And like when I moved back to my parents' house, because I had to move back there, temporarily, to figure things out and what I was gonna do. Like I told you, I was waking up with like I was sweating, and I would see his face, and I would like wake up in the middle of the night and be crying. Like this is some serious stuff. Like going through what I went through is no one deserves to go through that. Okay? Nobody. Not no woman, no man. Okay? And I'm telling you guys, if you're going through that, if or worse, you need to get out of your relationship. Okay? You need to get out. And if you're contributing to it, you're making it worse. Okay? So, so I noticed when I was going through my PTSD, I was like I was having my nightmares, and I was saying to myself in my sleep, like I was talking out loud, and I felt like when I was having my nightmares, I would start yelling and like not moaning, but like I don't know how to explain it. I was just talking out loud in my sleep. I was like, "No, leave me alone." Like it was because I kept having those flashbacks, constant flashbacks of him attacking me and charging at me and doing what he was doing, and it was just, it was not good. So, you know, especially as an Arab, like I said, it's hard because you're expected to stay married forever. like forever. And there are relationships that are, whether it's in the Arab culture or in the Latin culture or in the Black culture, it doesn't matter. There are relationships where, you see them smiling to your face, but when you close the door, there's something going on. And, you can't always trust those smiles because you never know what's going on behind closed doors. So, I had to just, I guess I had to, what's it called, fake it until you make it. I had to keep faking it until I was making it because it was so hard for me. I had to just keep putting on a smile and be like, I'm great, I'm fine, when I really wasn't. I wasn't great. I wasn't fine. I was heartbroken, extremely heartbroken. Like, imagine you think you're gonna marry the person of your dreams, and then they were like, they're perfect for you. Like you just think they're just perfect, like nothing's wrong with them, and then all of a sudden, you marry them, and then they turn into someone completely opposite. So it's extremely devastating, and that's what I'm trying to say is that PTSD is not, it's not nothing minor. It's severe. Like, it's like, there are people that suffer from PTSD, there are people that actually take medication for PTSD, for years. And it's not healthy. And I am not on any medication. I'm not, I'm just like, I just meditate a lot, and I just pray a lot and I meditate a lot, and I do a lot of positive thinking, and I listen to music that makes me happy. So that's my therapy. That's what I do to keep me sane and to keep me going. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd probably be at the gym like I always am. And you know, um so I just wanted to put that out there, that that's also what I went through. Um, you know, I was always told in public, like, "Oh, you're embarrassing. Oh, you're, um like, I was always getting bullied by him, like, in public. Oh, you're too skinny. Or, you just always like picking at me, just constant picking. And I I've already put this in my past, but as I said before, and I'll say it again, I don't mean to keep like reiterating myself, but I wanted to finally put this out there and share my story and move on from this. But if anybody has any questions, or I can do Q&As. Um, it's hard being married to someone that is that toxic, let alone someone who's toxic and is also in the law enforcement industry, like someone who's a cop. So you deal with a lot of, mood swings and um, stressful situations. So it was that plus the job. It wasn't easy. So, I so yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So until then, please, if you like my videos and like hearing what my stories and examples and whatnot, please subscribe to the link at the bottom, um and just support me. And I hope my story inspires somebody to leave their toxic relationship and find peace and find help, whether it's you or your spouse. Just, it's important to be safe and to be happy, because would you rather be with somebody for the rest of your life and be miserable, or would you rather be alone to be happy? Like, you have to choose, like, what's more important. I chose to leave because it wasn't healthy for me, and I probably would have wound up dead, especially with the way it was going. I would have definitely wound up dead or something else. I don't know, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and like I said, click the link at the bottom to subscribe. Good night.